Factsverse presents. Penn and Teller are amazing magicians, but there is a sad reason why you never hear Teller speak. Penn and Teller are magicians and entertainers who've been performing since the late 70s. Penn, Gillette, and Teller. The two were first introduced by Weir Krismer, and on August 19, 1975, the three performed their first show together. They were called the Asparagus Valley Cultural Society, and the three performed together from 1975 through 1981. They often played in Petaluma, California at the Phoenix Theater. Weir helped the trio develop a few bits, and the most notable one is Teller's Shadows trick, which involves a single red rose. When Weir decided to quit showbiz in 1981, Penn and Teller were on their own, and they worked on a show called Mrs. Lonsbury's Seance of Horror. Well, unlike Weir, both Penn and Teller dreamed of stardom. They starred in their own off-Broadway show, which was also an Emmy Award-winning special, Penn and Teller Go Public, in 1985. In 1987, they made it to Broadway and began their first of 3 Broadway runs. The pair started becoming famous, and soon they were a household name. They made plenty of appearances, including starring in a Run DMC video, appearing on Late Night with David Letterman, Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Today, and many others. They also had cameos on TV shows including Babylon 5, The Drew Carey Show, The Bernie Mac Show, West Wing, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, even Home Improvement. They lent their voices to The Simpsons and Futurama. In 2003, they got their own show on Showtime called Bullshit. On the show, they really didn't do much magic. Instead, they took a skeptical look at religion, physics, conspiracy theories, and the paranormal and tried to debunk various stories about those things. The show featured critical segments on astrology, feng shui, PETA, weight loss, gun control, and the war on drugs. The show ran from 2003 through 2010. In 2011, they starred in a new series called Penn and Teller Tell a Lie on the Discovery Channel, and Penn and Teller Fool Us aired on the CW in 2015. The dream of any entertainer, including magicians, is to get a headlining show in Las Vegas. It's something Penn and Teller dreamed of since they started working together. They had their first shot in Vegas in 1993. They headlined a show at Bally's. That was the dream, but they wanted more. That dream came true in 2001 when they began their long-lasting residency at the Rio. Their Vegas show is the longest-running headlining act in Vegas history. When the two have time off from their show, they return to Broadway to appear in the Rocky Horror Show. They have been very busy over the years and apparently like it that way. Penn and Teller, they spend most of their time together, which would lead most to believe that they are the best of friends. The truth is, they don't really have much in common, aside from magic. Because of that, they lead completely different lifestyles and have different interests when they're not performing together. They rarely interact or socialize when they're not on stage. Penn calls Teller his best friend, and his children treat him as a close relative, but the relationship is really based more on respect. On April 5, 2013, Penn and Teller were honored with the 2,494th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. They received the star for their achievement in the category of live performance. Their star is placed perfectly, just a few steps away from the famous magician Harry Houdini. It's also located just down the street from the Magic Castle. Anybody who's ever seen the pair perform, you know that Penn is the voice of the show, and Teller communicates only using facial expressions and mime-like movements. Penn and Teller, they are amazing magicians, but there's a sad reason why you never hear Teller speak. When he was first starting out in showbiz, he had a debilitating fear of being heckled. He thought that if he didn't talk and just performed, the audience wouldn't be able to find reasons to heckle him. When he met the rather chatty Penn, the two realized they made the perfect team. The pair have managed to create a fantastic career based on Teller's silence, and it's been working for them for over 40 years now. Today, the duo is so talented and so popular, audiences would probably never heckle Teller anyway, but he still remains quiet. He chooses not to speak because the duo figures that, hey, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Teller's science is part of the act, and they have no intention of switching things up now. I think that's a good decision. Subscribe for more.